I've chosen a picture to work from the magazine, and I've sketched up the head on this paper. It's a 300-gram watercolour paper, and I've used the Derwent ink pencil, which is water soluble. Now I'm just actually choosing some of the printed papers, which I'm going to use for the woman's clothes and her headdress. So I'm ripping out different pieces of paper, and then I'm going to glue them on like collage with golden matte medium. So right now I'm just ripping out different bits and trying to fit them in. I'm not being terribly exact. I can add bits and fill in bits later. I'm sort of trying to estimate where the paper is going to be, and then I'm just ripping the shapes after that, tearing off edges. This is the matte medium, which I'm going to paint on both sides, both on the back of the paper and also on the watercolour paper, so it'll really stick. Matte medium is actually quite fluid, so it's easy to work with. You'll see that even now when I've glued it down, I'm going to have to paint on the top of it as well, and I'm also having to like rip off extra bits. Make sure that any little bits that are like flicking up, that you make sure that there's glue underneath them. Now I'm actually using golden fluid, and this is yellow oxide, to fill in the background. I chose a colour which I thought would work well, and fluid's very good on watercolour paper. Right, now I'm going to go over the face, because she can't look like that. So I'm working with golden fluid again. I'm using violet oxide, Prussian blue, raw umber and Titan buff, which make a nice colour. She's got quite cool colouring in her face, and these colours go very well together. At the moment it looks grey, but it'll warm up. I'm actually just putting down light and dark just the whole time, and I'm just checking back at the picture I'm painting from, and then sometimes I'll use my finger to just spread it out slightly, smooth out the paint. I'm actually not going for a photographic image. I don't want it to look perfect like a photograph. That's why I'm painting quite fast and rather carelessly, really. I want the paint strokes to show on the finished picture. Will go better then with the collage print. Right, I've got the face roughly where I want it, and now, even if I'm not quite ready with it, but I'm going to work on her headdress, and I'm using a print which goes really well colour-wise, and I actually used the same stencil that I used for the lighter one that I've used for her dress, so that goes together with that. Then I'm using matte medium to glue it down, and I'm just ripping up little pieces and gluing them down on top of each other where I've sketched where the headdress is going to be. And you can see I'm sort of fitting them together, going over one another. And I'm choosing out bits from the pattern to get the best effect, and placing them in the right place. And now I'm just filling in all the small holes by ripping up small little pieces and filling them in. I'm actually not following the sketch underneath completely, but I'm more following my intuition by seeing what looks best. So I've made the headdress slightly larger than the original sketch, so that it went better with the face once I got the face in the right place. I actually want to fill out her arm here on the right hand side because it gives better balance in the picture. So I'm gluing on a little bit more of the light print and make a better composition. Again, I'm ripping it so that it fits into place on the edge of the paper. Right, now I'm going to have a look at the photo again, and I'm going to work with a black Molotow acrylic pen to do the details of her eyes and her mouth, and one or two shadows around her nose and hairline. Got to be careful so it doesn't look too hard. Now I'm going to warm up the tone in her face with some violet oxide and Titan buff, just to make it slightly pinker, slightly warmer. It's a bit clumsy there on the nose, so I'm just scraping this off with the end of the brush. It's these finishing touches that really make the picture, actually. Now I'm using Titan Buff to lighten up the left-hand side of her headdress. That's where the light is falling on her face, so obviously it will be light on her headdress as well. I'm actually not doing any shadows, I'm just doing light. And I'm doing the same thing on her dress. So I lighten up the whole of the left-hand side. And a few on her mouth and nose, and softening it slightly. Now I'm just going to finish off with a bit of violet oxide on the right hand side behind her, just to bring her out of the picture really. Softening that cheekbone slightly. And here we have the finished picture. Here's some details. There you can see the print on her headdress really well. There again, you can see where I've painted over with white over the headdress.